Today, I'm making it my mission to sign every brand new Wonderkid that has been added to FC25. From up-and-comers on the rise to hidden gems to world superstars already taking the spotlight, today is going to be a showcase of all the best fresh new talent that has arrived to FC25, and we're going to have none other than Sir BCHD here ready to show them off. It also gives us an opportunity to test out these new growth and development settings EA have added to the game, so adjusting the development rate for both our senior team players and our youth players. I was tempted to set them both to fast, but I just want to see how normal player growth and dynamic potential performs here in FC25, as we're in charge of none other than Hull City in the championship. I feel like Santa Claus on Christmas Eve right now. No, not because I have a big sack, but because I've made a list and I'm checking it twice. I have my sights set on some huge transfer targets that are going to rock the championship, if not all of England. This might be the best W that FC25 has to boast about. Career Mode's Wonderkid game this year is top notch. We're going to simulate around, 5 to 10 seasons, see how the Wonderkids grow, see how they get on, allow us enough time to buy every new Wonderkid in the game. I want to clear out this entire club and watch this Wonderkid squad go from rookies to world domination. And who else would you want try to nurture the youth than this guy right here? A couple of the talents that we've shortlisted and qualify for this video, they're actually out on loan and we can't pick them up in the first season. So this is going to be a multi-season process as our first pickup walks through the doors. Welcome to the KCOM Stadium. Start learning English, buddy. We have the Portuguese cam Rodrigo Moura, who announced himself at the Under-17 Euros this summer, bursted onto the scene, and we only had to spend a cheeky 2 mil. He looks like he's time jumped from early 2010 with the Justin Bieber bowl cut, but nevertheless, the 17-year-old, he's an exciting prospect and goes down as my first signing on FC25 career mode. Anyway, so on to the next. It's like we've got a speed run through these season 1 pickups. Enough about Moura. It's time to shift our attention towards the defense at right back. The Brazilian Pedro Lima, who recently arrived to Wolves in the summer, and now he'll be headed to the second tier, and again, just above £2 million. These guys are cheap as chips. Honestly, I don't know too much about him, but he is a youth academy product from Club do Recife in the Brazilian Serie B. Unlike Moura though, he's only showing great potential. We're building this team from the ground up. We've got to start from the bottom and build our way towards the top. Right here, we're securing our new #1 keeper with 80 potential. It's Matthias Niflore for 900k. There's a major shortage in the shot stopper department in FC25, or just young up-and-coming goalkeepers on the rise recently. So let's hope the teenage talent can become an instant hit. I ain't gonna lie, the centre-back department, just like the goalkeeper area, is severely lacking with new Wonderkids in FC25. We've got Marco Esteban, who was added into FC24 briefly, but removed, and now he is making a return as the Spanish centre-back from Real Oviedo for £1.8 million. We activated the 17-year-old's release clause. You can get him for way cheaper than that. Another talent with smack bang 80 potential, and then we have another Frenchman named Matthias. It's Matthias Angele, Esteban's centre-back partner with 82 potential. At 6'3" already, who knows? Could be the next Saliba. Now, here's the next genre of transfer I like to coin: the Premier League Youth Academy product that has no business being in the first team yet, not ready for first team football right now, but needs to be sent out on loan or have some experience away to develop. And right here, we're exemplifying that with the signing of Liverpool's Nyoni. I don't know if that's a game face scan or I think it's a generic face, but Trey Nyoni. We organised a little bit of a swap deal. The midfielder with 84 potential, and another new boy coming out of North London. It is Mikey Moore from Tottenham. Big Ange won't be needing him in season 1, so Hull City have come through and poached him. We got him through for £1.5 million, 85 potential for the young left winger. And like every year, like every season, there's another hype academy talent coming out of United's academy. I'm not quite sure where he's going to fit into this new Wonderkids team, but he's one of the most high-profile moves you could go for. The young left back, we might have to convert into a centre back, a winger, I'm not quite sure. To be honest, I've never heard of the guy before, so to see that he has 85 potential, there's something special brewing here. Alongside the last player to cap off this genre, it is Keanu Dyer from Chelsea. I don't know where they keep spawning these guys from, but it's just another player to add to Chelsea's ongoing list. Making his debut in FC25 with a respectable 82 potential. This centre mid department, the competition is going to be incredibly spicy. spicy. We've secured the services of the man lighting up the Stadium of Light in the second tier. It is Chris Rigg from Sunderland. The centre mid can play at cam and right mid. He's rocking the long sleeves, and for 900k, he has a potential of 84. The Black Cats could low-key be a promotion favourite, to be honest. Him cooking up alongside Joe Bellingham in midfield. I have supreme confidence that this kid is one for the future. Now, the centre attacking midfield spot, cam, is my favourite position in football. I feel like it's kind of died recently. There haven't really been many dynamic number 10s and creative type players that have emerged onto the scene. Nevertheless, I hope these two can change up the trajectory of the cam position. We have the boy, Franco Mastantuono, the Argentinian attacking midfielder from River Plate with 87 potential. He arrives on a bit of a swap deal. The fans are absolutely loving this buy. The Athletic is eating it up. It says we've bought him for £0, but it was actually a swap deal. And now all of a sudden he's got potential to be special. Okay, I didn't see this one coming. We haven't got the next Dybala on our hands. We might have the next Messi. It's written in the stars, man. Left-footed, 84 balance, 82 agility. So in that case then, I feel sorry for his competition. Mattia Liberali signed on the dotted line for £1.1 million from AC Milan. Same age, same left foot, but he's showing great potential. He announced himself in Europe at the Under-17 Euros, winning the entire tournament. The Azzurini absolutely carved up, and Mattia Liberali was the star boy. Only gifted with an 84 potential by EA. I think he should more be on that Mastantuono level, if you ask me. I don't know, maybe that's that Italian bias coming out, but he was an absolute sensation. So I'm ridiculously keen to see how these two grow together and play together. To think that we haven't even covered the winger spot in this team yet. We have so much talent to get through, so many new Wonderkids popping up, and there are probably more to come throughout the game cycle, so keep your eyes peeled. This is just the day one launch edition team, so things could change drastically here, but this is one of the best new Wonderkids that are making their debut in FC25, recently promoted back to the Spanish second tier, Deportivo La Coruña's David Meyer. We activated his release clause for £8.5 million. The 19-year-old, he's showing great potential, and he is actually a product of their youth academy, so it makes it even sweeter that he gets to represent his hometown club, got them promoted to the second tier, and he is just a class above when it comes to the Segunda Division. I feel like he could easily play in a top flight team. Now, we covered the positions that were severely lacking the new Wonderkid hype and the fresh new talents. However, the winger spot is not one of them. We have an abundance of options to choose from here, and another new Premier League signing that has arrived from the Brazilian leagues. We have Guilherme. He is one of the best new Wonderkids added to FC25 career mode, and for £9.3 million, you're gonna have to shell out the big bucks for him. Unless I activated his release clause. I can't really remember, but he's a good squad player. Don't listen to the social media bollocks. Don't give in to the utter woke nonsense. You gotta back yourselves here. For some reason, the social media tab, the news tab, is saying he's a goalkeeper. Fear not, people. He can play on the right, can play at the left, even do a stint at cam. With the rapid play style, you already know what you're getting yourselves into with this guy, and could easily be a nightmare for defenders in the future. Now, I've seen the hype train take off for this kid, and you bet I am all aboard. It was freshly added in one of the first squad updates of FC25. Some say he's the next Rafael. Some say he could be the next Ronaldo, but I say he is the first Giovanni Quenda, with one of the best default generic EA faces in the game. It actually kind of looks like him, to be honest. That's 70 overall. This young gun has a potential of 88. He's simply just a must-buy. Another release clause activation, so don't worry about the financials. He already has 86 acceleration, 84 agility, 80s in sprint speed and balance. At 5'8", he is just a pocket rocket ready to explode. The dreads are giving him that aura. He just looks like a serious baller. Coming through as a right winger, can also play on the left. He's versatile. He has got some lofty high expectations to live up to. Like the social media tab's predicting, there's going to be pressure heaped on the teenager's shoulders, but none more than the sole striker of the team, and that's Besiktas's Mustafa Erhan Hekimoglu, one of the only brand new Wonderkid hitmen to be added to FC25. The Turkish talent at the time of recording, 86 potential, and has never been in career mode before, so what a way to have your introduction. Mustafa at the back, that is just cold. He ain't no small forward either, 6'1". He is going to be a menace for defenders. For 1.15 million, he's the go-to goal-getter option. He'll be leading the line up top alongside Coenda on the right. We're probably going to have to convert him, do a little bit of position training here and there to make sure the team fits fit. We have the perfect little jigsaw puzzle here because I've made my own tactic. BCHD ball. But look at this utter work nonsense. Why have I only got 7 subs on the bench? I thought that was the new career mode feature. 9 substitutes. But for some reason in this save, I don't know what I've done wrong, but we've only got 7 on the bench. I would have loved to fit some more new Wonderkids there. Trust me, we've still got an ever-growing list of new Wonderkids that we're saving for the future seasons. Keeping a few plan Bs in there, saving them for later in the video to show off, so make sure you keep watching. Watch it, drink it in, soak it in. This is the class of FC25, our first summer transfer window in a nutshell, as we get ready for our first look at player and Wonderkid growth in career mode this year. I've been doing some experimenting with the new development plans, and in terms of position conversion, I don't know if this is a glitch or not. I'm trying to convert Harry Mass into a centre back from a left back, but then if I try and do the same with Pedro Lima, who can also play as a right mid, I then can't train him to be a centre back. The only other defensive position there is a left back, so I'm not quite sure if that's a glitch or something actually they've built into the game, but yeah, just something to be wary of. I'm here to warn you guys, I'm here to test this player growth, just a little heads up there. Hopefully that's something that gets addressed and fixed, but it also just might be part of the new game. Guys, I think I've done something wrong here. The career mode gods don't like me today. My next match is in 6,333 days. This save just might be corrupt. My next match is in 17 years. Alright, see you lads in 17 years. It's not the season that the new Wonderkids or Whole City would have hoped for, as they sit 17th, 55 points. It was a poor showing, but they're an inexperienced bunch. They got taught a lesson in round 4 of the FA Cup 4-1 to Man City, and humbled in round 1 of the Carabao 5-4 on pens to League 2 outfit Salford City. Turns out, it ain't easy when your average squad age is like 17. Or it could be BCHD ball or my custom tactic that's just ruining the vibes right now. There's so much to improve on and so much to learn for these talents. What's going on with the badge on the goalkeeper's shorts? I think that's a club badge. That's supposed to be the club badge. As season 1's best performers, top goal scorer David Meyer had an absolute field day out there, carrying the Tigers on his back with 21 goals, 11 assists. Mustafa up front, the gunslinger, with 14 and 1, and Giovanni Quenda, who is slowly but surely converting into a striker. It's going to take another 61 weeks, so hopefully by the end of season 2 that comes through. And Harry Maas, by the time season 2 starts, he is oh so close to that centre back conversion. It's coming through. 6 goals and 7 for the Brazilian Fury on the right hand flank. Luis Guilherme. Marco Esteban from centre back, 4 goals and 2. Meanwhile, one of the main playmakers, Mastan Tuono, showcasing his creative abilities alongside Meya and Rodrigo Mora. One of my pet peeves is really coming into fruition now. I don't know why they've done this, but they've actually removed like the player growth, whether they've increased or decreased from the start of the season. I guess you've just got to know. It doesn't really display whatsoever in the player growth section. +4s, +3s, +2s. I actually have no clue unless I write down every single player's overalls at the start of the season. Player growth, for some reason, isn't displayed. And again, I hope this gets addressed soon because it's really annoying. Especially when it comes to doing these Wonderkid growth test-esque videos. Who's been the most improved? Who's developed the best? It is an outright farce. And again, more information, more player data just stripped away from us for no reason. Minor inconveniences, I know, but more utter work nonsense we have to put up with. Now, our main strategy for season 2's transfer market is just to buy some of these Wonderkids that were on loan in season 1. We couldn't do any business with them, and that includes a brand new starting goalkeeper, another French talent to add to the team, standing in at 6'6". He is a man mountain, and I'm sure we're going to get a clean sheet this season. Like, we didn't get any last year with our keeper. £3 million for Yuan Yawuan. It's our second bite at the cherry with these French shot stoppers. Hopefully, he's going to be our number 1 for the years to come. We've also got to address these defensive issues by just bending the rules slightly, guys. Like, there are slim pickings. I've told you about the defenders and goalkeeper new Wonderkids. He was a Wonderkid that was added later into FC25. He's still relatively new to the career mode life, and that is an Argentinian defender by the name of Palacio. He's already represented the national team at youth level. Now he'll be joining us here in the championship. It's Tobias from Argentinos Juniors for £3 million. Considering our wingback situation, we've got one who's about to become converted into a centre back, and the other, the Brazilian boy Lima, who submitted a transfer request. I know, bombshell. The only reason why I'm signing this guy is just in case we ever decide to go to a 4-back. We've got a bit of backup there. We have a plan B just in case we revert tactics or something. So that's why Alamugera Kabar, a Borussia Dortmund Academy product, £3 million again. I thought he came from their second team, their youth academy, but no. The German is showing great potential, just like our new number 1 Yowen. Meanwhile, Palacio is an exciting prospect and a little bit on the down low. He's more of a hidden gem. We got to recruit yet another Turkish talent, and that is Enes Ogruse. The center attacker midfielder slash center mid is an exciting prospect, and I'm not gonna lie, Turkish football are producing this kind of mini golden generation right now. They're cooking. And yeah, updates on the transfer list situation. Both Pedro Lima and my boy Mattia Liberali, the Italian stallion, requesting moves away from the club. I'm not sure whether to sell them and buy them back in the future, but for now, they will remain. Oh my days, that 18-year-old looks like he's been through hell and back. He looks like he's seen a ghost. Not only do we need to add numbers to our roster, improve the depth, but also we needed injections of quality. And that's what we've got right here with the boy who was loaned out in Season 1. Unbuyable for us, but it's Gabriele Moscardo, the Brazilian center defensive midfielder from PSG. I'm not sure what to do with him. I don't know if I should convert him into a center back or he should just be our main deep line playmaker, but for £10 million, hopefully be that type of quality player that'll push these young up-and-comers through to the Prem. Experiments will be made and risks we will take, especially for this guy. The Brazilian, despite only being 19, decided to pack up and move his bags to Saudi. He's probably fulfilling a childhood dream right now, playing with Ronaldo. At Al Nassr, they have got an 84 potential Wesley, who for £15 million becomes the most expensive player we've bought so far, 76 rated. And I just wanted to hold off from him in Season 1, so we've pulled the trigger. Mella's already killing it in that spot. He was our best player, the MVP by a mile, and we already have decent backup. I'm probably going to end up having to convert him into a striker or an attacking midfielder. Again, just spoiled for choice when it comes to our attacking department. Bro, it must be a glitch. What the hell? I can't convert a CDM that was getting compared to center backs when we signed him. I can't convert him into a center back. There is literally no option. I convert him into a right back or a left back, but center back, no. That is just not on the cards for some reason. Are development plans and position training broken? Is this the way it was intended? Is this the way it's supposed to be? Fingers crossed for a patch or update, but this is not looking good, bruv. Why can I convert a left winger into a center back, but not a CDM? Like, am I missing something here? Don't you worry, I've still got a few tricks up our sleeves here that I don't really want to commit to yet before we're in the big leagues, because they're a bit better than the championship. We're gonna make sure we're competing for titles, winning silverware, playing in Europe before we probably even consider these guys. So maybe I'll go in for them in a couple seasons time. Once a player's made their minds up and wanting to go on the transfer list, they've submitted their request. You can't go in and renegotiate their contract or change their minds. That's still the same. That system hasn't changed whatsoever, which I didn't really expect it to, but I didn't expect them to remove the player growth changes either. Honestly, I cannot unsee that. Julian Brand, it looks like he's been possessed by Voldemort. This ain't E for everyone. This is gonna scare some kids. So here's how the team's looking for Season 2. The two South Americans joining us and providing quality straight away. Both Moscardo and Palacio slide straight into the starting team. Mas newly converted as a centre back, and we still don't have 9 subs. It is pissing me off. Season 2 is about to wrap up, and the boys shot themselves up the table. The most improved squad out of all of them, as the Wonderkids, 78 points, 4th spot, and qualified for the playoffs. Meanwhile, Southampton and Bournemouth both go up. So we wait with bated breath, as it was Chelsea to win the FA Cup, as we were knocked out to the champions 2-0 back in round 3. In the Carabao, the Wonderkids Cup run was cut short over in round 4 to Brentford 2-1. And in the promotion playoff semi-final against recently relegated Ipswich, they made it through in the home leg 2-1 and booked their place at Wembley, 3rd versus 4th. Now look, as much as they fought their way through to the playoff final, this season hasn't come without its trials and tribulations. Not only Liberali and Lima, but our boy Giovanni Quenda and Mastantuono, the two most exciting prospects I was looking forward to, both submitted transfer requests. I've tried my best to keep the squad happy, but for one reason or another, they just weren't having it. And we've also had a huge tactical change, not only in the way we play, but formation-wise. We've opted for a little bit of a 3-4-3 action, a pitchfork formation, if you will, just to accommodate our abundance of wingers. I gave up on on that Coenda striking training because it was just taking ages. It was never going to convert. It was never going to work. So he's rightfully on that right wing spot. But again, he submitted a transfer request. So it's a ticking time bomb. However, I do think this is the right move tactically and a way we can strategically incorporate our best players. All I know is that if they secure a dub here today, it'll be a success story for the ages. So up against West Bromwich Albion. And it went down to the wire. Went down to pens. 1-3-2 from the spot. After it finished 1-1, the scorers in the final. Big boy Wesley on the left. There we have it. Hull City and these new FC25 Wonderkids are Premier League, despite the social media news tab saying we've earned a promotion to the Championship playoffs. So what do I know? We only have a squad of 23, 4 players submitting a transfer request. It is going to be a sticky situation come Premier League. But our highest rated player and the first to hit the 80s, it's our trusty Spaniard David Melia. And in terms of player performances, statistics wise, Mustafa stepped up to the plate. He completely ate up the Championship. 27 goals and 6 assists in all competitions. The Turk is firing on all cylinders up front. He's our lone striker. Someone's got to put it in the back of the net. And it looks like Wesley, he also had a time of it. 20 goal contributions, 13 goals, 7 assists. Just excelled. And we're getting the best out of these players. 12 goals and 9 for Coenda. He's dropped off a little bit in terms of production, but others have stepped up to the plate, which is good to see. In a surprise package here, I didn't think this guy would get any game time, but Enes Ogruche, 8 goals and 1 assist. I'm sure they've all come off the bench, so that's quite impressive. Is it too early for a top flight berth? Are they going to have what it takes to challenge the big boys? I guess we'll have to find out. It's either I've changed my mind again, or I'm just too busy tinkering with this new tactics and the formation and how you set up your team, because you can't actually customize what position your players are. So in order to get Moscardo, our best player, the captain, playing at his best and not having that yellow caution sign next to him, I need to have a CDM spot there. And the other formation we were using, the fork, it just had 2 center mids, and I wanted to adjust it to be a CDM, but you can't. And now I'm forced to switch to a 3-1-4-2 formation in order to get a center defensive midfield spot. We've had to sacrifice the flanks there. Both right mid and left mid are gone. Now we're operating with a 2-man up front, 2 strikers to lead the line. Trust me, we've got plans emerging. We know exactly who will partner our boy Mustafa up top. It's none other than one of the most highly anticipated newly added Wonderkids to FC25 career mode, Hendrik, Sir Bobby Charlton himself. Let's hope he can channel he's in a Bobby Charlton for Hull City. We're kind of reminiscent and reincarnating that prime Barclays feel. The small forward, tucked in shirt. He's kind of emulating Defoe there with our tall boy striker. They're going to be a combination for the ages. And right here, arriving from Everton for £67.1 million. How did he end up in Merseyside? And especially on the blue half. But he comes through as one of our best new players. New star player required. And we're making a statement of intent right here. Born in the Brazilian streets, has potential to be special. Forged by the favelas, already with 94 acceleration, 91 sprint speed. You know you're doing something right when both of your star-studded strikers have potential to be special. You love to see it. I also want to use this experiment as a chance to just test out the loan glitch to see if loaning out players is still overpowered. Just everything to do with player growth and Wonderkids and dynamic potential. I need to get to grips with the game as we've loaned out Mikey Moore, an out-of-favour Mikey Moore, for 2 years to Rangers. I hope that does wonders for him and he comes back a brand new man. And finally, we've got that 9 subs activated. For some reason, the first 2 years, we only had 7, but now the game's finally up to date and caught up to itself. So let's hope these lads have got enough to stay up, because our defense is probably the weakest part of the team, and I can't really do anything about it. It doesn't feel like this is much of an achievement, but I feel like I've accomplished something here. I've finally worked my brain around this new tactic system, the FCIQ. I've got everyone on a plus player role. I've somewhat cracked the code, I guess. We were in a slog there where all I had to report on was bad news, but right here looks like a little glimmer of hope. Not only do we have the 4 musketeers on the transfer list, but our boy Wesley, now that we took out the winger spots in the formation, he's had enough. He wants out, submitted a transfer request again, so BCHD just can't keep these kids contained. Nevertheless, the squad have battled it out in the Prem, and right here, 13th spot, 46 points on the table. They've survived the drop, cleared relegation. Of course, we want to push for more. Look, one more win and we could have shot up into the top half, so it was very close. Over in the FA Cup, it was elimination in the semi-finals to Coventry City. A golden moment to have a cup finals berth. It's a tough pill to swallow. That's like a delete club moment right there. As another semi-final elimination, this time on penalties, as Luton Town won 2-1. 2 semi-finals, 2 losses. It's heartbreaking, but that's going to be some valuable experience for these still young and upcoming talents. With our highest rated baller being Endrick, who just strolled in, announcing his arrival with 28 goals and 6 assists. He is the man. He is just that guy in career mode this year. The Brazilian's just a cheat code, 34 goal involvements, and then his partner in crime, Hekimoglu. Mustafa couldn't help himself, 23 goals in 41 appearances, as both Coenda and Guilherme on the right with 8 goals apiece. Our captain, the big leader, Moscardo, 5 goals and 9 for the CDM. We had to build this system, build this spine around. I'm trying to get Chris Rigg a little bit more involved, and other midfield competition in the team has definitely hindered his growth. In terms of playmaking, Rodrigo Mora, the Portuguese Magnifico, maybe the next Bruno Fernandes coming through here. 10 assists for the boy, and unfortunately nothing seems to have come of that Mikey Moore Rangers loan deal. He's still stuck at a 70 rating. We're shaking things up and going on a little bit of a shopping spree here in season 4, because on my part I completely forgot that there was this new Wonderkid in the game from Barcelona, hailing from the La Masia Youth Academy. It's the CDM. I wanted to bring in a bit of backup for Moscardo. It is Mark Bernal, arriving from Nottingham Forest of all players, £6.1 million. He hasn't got a 2D profile picture, so it's, you know, turning me off a bit. However, he wasn't in FC25, so he qualifies for this team as he's showing great potential. Still only 20 years of age. That CDM cover is going to be crucial for Moscardo as we try to compete in as many competitions as possible, qualify for Europe, and that's pretty much the underlying theme of this entire transfer window. We need to up our troop size. We need to get in some more bodies and a backup brigade, just like this man with the man bun. It is a newly added Ukrainian hitman up front. Another FC25 debut, hailing from Bayer Leverkusen originally. It is Artem Stepanov. However, it's the same old story with these new Wonderkids. The lack of a 2D mini face is really putting me off. Mate, we're building up our own little no-face gang here. Now, I had a viewer pop up in one of my live streams recently. Yes, I do go live on this channel as well, so make sure you check that out. But someone said that they went to school with this guy, and now he's in FC25. He's in career mode. It is the Polish right mid, standing up tall next to Sir BCHD now, Franciszek Frankzak. We're 4 years deep into this save and he's still not good enough. But you know, at least the Pole actually has a face, and he starts off as a 57 overall, 81 potential at 16. To be honest, he's a hidden gem and a half. He's not going to get any game time here, but just a decent little backup. Now, forgive me as we're slightly bending the rules with these 2 signings, but it had to be done. First up, it's the teenage Croatian centre back who's on loan in season 1, but he has a whopping 86 potential, added midway through FC24's game cycle, but we're kind of forcing our hand into this one. We need some more centre halves. Luka Vuskovic, welcome to the party. Now, last but certainly not least, we have a Wonderkid that boasts 86 potential at only 17 from the Rosenborg Youth Academy out in Norway. You hear the likes of Haaland. He pretty much dominates the Norwegian headlines. Him and Odegaard. They have a brand new upcoming hidden gem called Savir Seth Naipan, the center attacking midfielder added post FC24 launch, so I'm just going to count him slightly. He's been boosted up to an exciting prospect, still at only 20 years of age, and you can bet your bottom dollar I have plans for this guy. I want to convert him into a backup striker, an impact sub to come in off the bench. 124 weeks, I don't know if it's worth the risk, or because he can already technically play as a striker, I can just put his development plan on a striker poacher. I'm not sure what the most effective route to this is, but it's an option I'm willing to explore right now. 4 years in, we've still got the out of favor Wonderkids, the players that couldn't get enough game time and their potentials being ruined, the likes of Daya and Anyoi, Liberali, who had a transfer request from season 1, but we're just holding them here hostage for now. I sim straight to the end of the season, and I've arrived to some good news in the social tab. We've gone on to win the FA Cup, Endrick standing proud next to it, and that's the Wonderkids' first piece of silverware in 4 seasons. That means no matter where we finished in the Prem, Prem that is guaranteed European football. And we're on cloud 9 right now. Endrick probably remembers Bobby Charlton lifting the FA Cup back in the day. Now he can also say that he finished 10th, smack bang in the middle of the Premier League. Only improved and moved up slightly in the table, but at least we avoided finishing in the bottom half, as it was Manchester City again to win the title. They have set the benchmark. They've probably won about 10 in a row by now, as it was a 4-0 demolition job of Southampton. Where did they finish in the Premier League? Were they even in the Premier League? No. A championship side, Southampton, made the FA Cup final, and we put an absolute clinic on them, as it was Cardiff City in the Carabao Cup championship outfit to beat the Prem side Newcastle 2-0, as we were scored 3-0 by Man United in the quarterfinals to end our hopes. However, I think it's Europa League football next season. Lazio, the current holders. It's that time where I've got to sell on some of the transfer listed players, because it was just hindering their career at this point. I plan to buy them back though, as it's Giovanni Quenda moving to Atletico Madrid for £40 million. Wesley now makes the move to Bologna for 40.4, and Pedro Lima will be making the switch to Bournemouth. We're still trying to accept offers for Mastantuono and Liberali. The two high hopes I had in this video have completely let me down. Some of these new Wonderkids are just in their flop era, and I can't do anything about it. Let's have a cheeky roster update. The highest overall player, it's got to be Mr. Road to Bobby Endrick with an 89. He is teetering towards that world-class status. Still has potential to be special. Moscardo, the captain, has climbed up to an 87, and Luis Guilherme is going to have to step up to the plate now that Coenda's packing his bags. That's our top goal scorer this season. It was none other than Endrick himself. I think he's just going to be the most overpowered, oversigned player in career mode this year, with 35 goal involvements, 29 goals in all comps, and then his 6'1" partner in crime, Batman and Robin, up there, 19 goals and 2 assists. He was the first Wonderkid to hit double figures in both goals and assist categories, 11 goals, 12 assists. Guilherme with 12 goal contributions, and Quenda, who hopefully will be reuniting with one day, with 5 and 4. And then Naipan off the bench, the Norwegian, actually making more of an impact than I suspected. Someone that is slowly injecting themselves into the team. It is Enes Ogruche. He's turning out to be a real good hidden gem, and I wish I started playing him sooner with 11 goal contributions. Chris Rigg off the bench is doing his part, and our best defender, Tobias Palacio, the best out of the bunch, he is carrying that 3-man backline in this inflated transfer market. Nearly £130 million price tag for Endrick, £81 million for our personal own Rodri, our Brazilian Rodri Moscardo, and then the rest of the gang, they're quietly building up quite the name for themselves. And now begins the clean out of all the transfer listed players we were holding hostage. We're letting them free into the wild. The player sales are going to continue, as I can confirm Franco Mastantuono makes the switch to the red side of Merseyside, joining Liverpool now. We've officially cleared out all the bad eggs in the dressing room. These new Wonderkids just threw a temper tantrum from season 1. We see Mattia Liberali move up north to the Stadium of Light for £1.6 million. Now we had to say goodbye to 5 departing players, but now it's time to reintroduce some reinforcements, I guess, as we buy a bit of firepower for the bench. It's someone I held off signing in season 1, Gustavo Nunes from Brentford, just due to the fact that he's yet another attacking winger. It would have just absolutely been overkill again, not just for wingers, but Brazilians in the team. It's better late than never. Welcome along. Gifted with an 82 potential from the jump. Unfortunately, right now, at this point of his career, he is flatlined and he needs a revival. Look, lads, it must be done. Honestly, he probably should have been added into FC25, but he was just too young. And that is the boy, the sensation, the generational talent, Lamine Yamal, fresh off winning the Euros in real life, but 5 years on, he was still at Barcelona. We had to pay a pretty penny. I didn't want to wait any more seasons before he was priced out, but Lamine Yamal will join us here as the final new Wonderkid that I had my sights on, with a whopping 94 potential. I can't remember someone that has made their debut with a 92 plus, and for £130 million, he arrives here as an 89 rated baller, a new star player that blows everyone out the water. Is there a formation where you can just play 7 wingers? Because that's what we could have done with these new Wonderkids. This is how the starting team and bench is shaping up as we set up for season 5. Lamine Yamal just hops right into the starting 11, no questions asked. Besides Palacios, our defense is like the only area that isn't growing the way I want it to. I feel like I'm doing everything right. I've got all the right coaches, all the right player roles, and just their potentials have been shot dead. It's unfortunate, but it's the harsh reality, as I think dynamic potential is slightly nerfed this year in career mode. Let me guys know how your experiences have been. Nevertheless, this is the current shortlist. that I'm keeping tabs of. I'm keeping my eye on them from afar, all the players that we've sold. I think I can still go ahead and approach. I can even go ahead and approach Mustang Torno, even though we've just sold them. But I'm going to give them one more year away from the club to see how they get on in their new teams. Look at that. We launched the campaign by beating the champions, Man City 3-2 on pens in the Community Shield, and that proved to be a good omen because somehow we weaseled our way into a Champions League spot, sitting 4th on goal difference or head-to-head. 66 points was the golden number, a +6 to our finish on the table, and things are looking on the up as over in the FA Cup, we were knocked out in round 4 to Sheffield United 1-0, and the Carabao Cup saw similar fate as it was a quarterfinals elimination 3-0 to Arsenal. We had to fend off in multiple competitions for the first time, Europa League football, and we came through in 8th. With 15 points, we earned our ticket into the round of 16, beating Real Sociedad 7-4 on aggregate over in the quarterfinals, a 4-3 win against Sparta Praha, and then in the semi-finals, I mean, it was a heartbreaking end to it all, but a 4-3 loss, which saw them not even go on to win the whole thing, losing on pens to Napoli. We didn't have to win it anyway, considering our league finish, but it would have been nice to add to the trophy cabinet. I mean, we used the balanced standard tactic, but nothing about this squad is balanced whatsoever. We've had to move Mayer into the midfield as a key playmaker. Our defense is still struggling, and this new Wonderkids angle hasn't aged well for us. And in terms of results, I mean, it's taken nearly half a decade for things to click into gear. However, the franchise player Bobby up front got injured. He actually tore his ACL. We've all been there before, buddy, but he might have just had a minor tear. He was only out for 3-4 months. Still managed to crack on with 46 appearances, 19 goals and 4 assists, but we have a new Golden Boot winner. It's Mustafa up front with 27-1. He's been a slow burn, growing nicely as the boy in midfield, Enes Ogruche. We've transformed him into an absolute superstar. 17 goals and 8 assists as a box-to-box midfielder. Our other sensational Spaniard, David Mayer, with double figures in both goals and assists. 12-9 for Luis Guilherme, despite competition from Lamine Yamal coming through. However, because he's a right winger and this formation only uses right mids and left mids, he didn't get that much game time from the assistant manager, so that's bad on my behalf, and I can't even convert him to a left midfielder. Like 668 weeks? Come on. Like, there's something wrong. There's got to be something wrong. I can't convert him to a simple left mid. It's just a joke, man. The lack of creating a formation, a custom formation, being able to edit every single position. Like right now, I just move him up to a left wing. He gets the caution sign next to his name. The assistant manager won't play him there. And it just hinders his career in the process and holds this team back. Now, how did the others do? The outcasts, the throwaways, and it looks like we successfully put a nail in a coffin for their careers because they haven't grown whatsoever. Maybe I probably should have sold them off and cut my losses a while back, but hey, mistakes were made. And surprise, surprise, we flip-flopped our tactics again this season. We switched back to the pitchfork formation. It's our trusty, it's our old reliable at this point, and I couldn't resist. We had to land back a little homecoming here with Giovanni Quenda, rescuing him from Atletico Madrid for £70 million, and in the meantime, converted him to a left winger, converting him out back to a right winger. I know, this growth test, this simulation has been all over the place, but I'm just trying to get to grips with everything and wrap my head around how to conquer this new FC25 career mode meta. Nevertheless, we've hit the last day of the Premier League season. We're up against Leeds at home, and here is how it stands in the title race. Man City breathing down our neck. If we slip up and Man City win, who have they got? Newcastle away, the Premier League title could be theirs. However, we just need a draw or win, and this Premier League title is all wrapped up. It's ours. So let's try and salvage this season, as we couldn't go all the way in the Champions League. Lost out in the quarterfinals to eventual finalist Borussia Dortmund, and we lost out on penalties. But in the normal league phase, we came in the top 6 out of 32 teams. That is a solid debut Champions League showing. And just before the season closed out, we managed to secure yet another FA Cup title. We love winning these. It's our second by now. However, a big if is that we're going to be without our best defender, 88 rated Palacio. That is going to be a huge loss as he misses out on our Premier League title parade potentially with a suspension. It's a perfect day out. The sun is shining, and this is just the moment. It's the day to win the club their first ever Premier League title. The fans have packed out the stadium. Using all these new Wonderkids in one team is going to be an insane experience. So let's live up to the hype and let's just become English champions on our own turf. And just one last look at the line lineup. It's a near perfect outfit, but we're without our boy. Why is it showing up in this weird-ass formation? I've got a 3 at the back, not a 4 at the back. Okay, just whatever, Premier League. Show inaccurate lineups before the game. Just another dumbass glitch I have to find out whilst recording. Yeah, it's not our formation whatsoever. I just had to double check. I feel like I'm going crazy playing this. Finds Yamal. Endrick all alone up top. We had to drop Mustafa to make this new formation work, but Coenda might have to change the play here, and he does so beautifully. Now has the overlapping run of Coenda to pass on to. Coenda back inside to Endrick. Endrick finds Lamine Yamal, and he can't get the shot away. Back inside to Endrick. Who would have saw this coming? Both of them playing in the one team, and Lamine Yamal needs to cut inside on the finesse shot, and it was straight at the keeper. Big tackle needed. Our defense caught off guard. The 3-man backline. Keeper didn't know where to come out, and this is getting scary. 20th place leads, giving us all sorts of problems. Now wants to break away, and the Leeds United players push too far up. Coenda on the charge is the only player up there, and he needs some support. Cuts back on the inside, trying to find Lamine Yamal, and Lamine Yamal in the box will slot that one home to kick off the party early, opens the score. What a beautiful counter-attacking goal that was from the corner. Ran pretty much the entire pitch, and Coenda arrived back in January, and he's here to finish off a job. Oh no, we've got now bodied there. Oh, we needed to commit a professional foul. Yamal is going to go unchallenged here, and Yamal nearly finds an opening. Oh, what a tackle, Moscardo. He read that one like a book, and Endrick wants to get in on the act. Moscardo wants to set up a Gurche, and then he slots through. Endrick, the boy himself, road to Bobby is on. And what a man, what a player. He's just carried this squad. The second he entered into the Premier League, he dominated from the jump, and it's a brilliant little finish. The Turkish hidden gem rising star who nobody saw coming gets the assist, and Sir BCHD can't contain himself on that sideline. Wants to find Yamal again, and now it's free-flowing. Now they're in flow state. Our Spanish creative outlet, ball on the inside to put the icing on top of the cake, but it was just written in the stars. The best newly added Wonderkids, Yamal and Endrick, to get on the score sheet today. Secure the 3 points, secure the dub. We've won the Premier League title. What's going on? I wanted to see the trophy celebration. I wanted to see the lift. There we go. For some reason, the fans weren't even reacting whatsoever. They grabbed their non-existent medals, and the Premier League trophy has orange and black ribbons on it for the very first time, crowning these new Wonderkids as Premier League champions 6 seasons down the track. And my god, it has been a struggle, a satisfying struggle, but in the end, lads, it's all about the journey, not the destination. Yeah, it has been a slog and a half, I'll tell you that for free. There's your last look at the Premier League table, and that's got to be a new all-time low for how many points it takes to become champions. 75? Even Leicester back in 2016 got more than that. We have to pay homage and check in on the players we've lost over the years, like Franco Mastantuono, joined Liverpool, and he just stayed in an 80 overall. At Sunderland, still 70 rated. We kind of killed his career, but Pedro Lima has made the move to Belgium, I believe. That is KVC Westerlo, not the path he was probably imagining for himself. And Wesley, who had a promising start for us, but we had to sacrifice due to tactics, he's still out there in Italy for Bologna. Top rated player, top goal scorer this season. Show me the money, show me the stats. It is Endrick, who we changed up this system probably about halfway through the season. We had to sacrifice our boy Mustafa, which I didn't want to do. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, the hardest choices require the strongest wills, and Endrick has had a record season in terms of goal scoring. 34 goals, 5 assists. Lamine Yamal, 20 goals and 9. Hekimoglu, half the season as a starter, half the season coming in off the bench, 14 goals and 2. And Ogruche, who has just been electric. A Turkish star boy that's came out of nowhere. I'm 1000% going to be signing this gun again in a rebuild later down the line. David Mayer, he's just so consistent with it. Double figures again in both categories. And Giovanni Coenda, this is only one half of the season. 11 goals, 5 assists. Vukovic from the back with 3 goals. And El Capitano, 2 goals and 9 for Gabriele Moscardo. Rodrigo Mora kind of fell off a bit. Naipan had more of an impact than I expected. Bernal always was, always will be just a backup for Moscardo just in case. And somehow, our French shot stopper Jaouen got 3 assists and 16 clean sheets. The 6'6" behemoth is one to watch not only with his hands, but with his feet. The boy can play, as we had Chris Rigg out on loan at Coventry, but nothing really came of that again. The lone glitch might successfully be removed from FC25. This video has been very topsy-turvy. We've made some careers, we've ended some careers, we've seen some Wonderkids flop, some star boys that didn't reach the greatest heights and failed to fulfill their potential, but we also saw some unsung heroes in the mix. A little bit of a mixed bag when it comes to these brand new Wonderkids. Let me know down in the comments below, where did I go wrong? What should I fix? What are the best tactics and strategies to use? Because clearly this Wonderkid squad was not suited to much, but I made it work somehow. And also let me know what Wonderkid you're most keen on signing in FC25 as we simulate here into Season 7. Drop the video a like down below if you made it this far. Subscribe to the channel. You know where to find me. As always, I've been your boy Sir BCHD. Have a great day. Take care. And I'll catch you lot in the very next video. Bye-bye.